So Alabama just held their first scrimmage of the so-called spring. Obviously, I'm not an insider, so I will just be reporting what people have been saying. I want to talk about the quarterback situation and so much more because we are starting to get to that time of year where football is heating up and all that good stuff. But before I get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, and we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so Kalen Deboer really finds himself right now in a pivotal point as he tries to navigate a tight quarterback competition as the spring rolls around. The scenario right now presents a 3-man race filled with considerable talent, yet the challenge of balancing raw ability with the essential experience looms large. As one contender begins to fade from the discussion, the spotlight is starting to intensify on 2 promising athletes, setting the stage for a fierce internal contest that is going to be fun to watch and follow. Like I said, Alabama hit the practice field for their first spring practice. It was a closed-door affair with no media buzz. The only insights anyone received came straight from Kalen Deboer himself. But one key detail has emerged, and it's big: Ty Simpson's election to the team's leadership council. This isn't just about arm strength or practice reps, it speaks volumes about his growing presence and leadership within the team. And now on Saturday, Crimson Tide's reporter Brody Schmoot has dropped some fresh intel from inside sources on that very scrimmage. According to Schmoot, several players stood out, including Abdul Sanders and Cameron Howard. True freshman Dijon Lee and Ladzier Brooks are also reportedly making a strong case for playing time. But the quarterback intel is the real headline. Brody Schmoot reported that Ty Simpson emerged from the scrimmage as the solid number 1. And like I said, Ty Simpson brings the most experience to the quarterback room, having thrown for 381 yards in limited action over 3 seasons, along with 3 rushing touchdowns to his name, but no passing touchdowns. While considered the early frontrunner, everyone knows it is still a tight race that could really go on for the entire upcoming season, especially with the arrival of Keelon Russell. Russell isn't just a highly touted prospect, he's an elite one. ESPN ranks him as the nation's number 2 recruit, second to only Michigan's Bryce Underwood. Notably, Russell is the highest ranked quarterback to commit to Alabama since Bryce Young, so the raw talent is undeniable, making this battle truly compelling. However, talent alone doesn't guarantee a starting nod under Deboer. Freshmen, regardless of their ranking, often need time to develop and earn the coach's trust. This is where redshirt sophomore Austin Mack enters the picture. His 31-yard touchdown pass to Rico Scott against Mercer makes him the only current Alabama quarterback with a recorded passing touchdown. In today's college football landscape, if Mack finds himself behind Russell on the depth chart, a transfer might be a real consideration, as waiting for an opportunity can be a risky game. So as this quarterback competition intensifies, Kalen Deboer himself has offered some insights, sending a clear message to the Tide faithful, reflecting on his first spring scrimmage. Deboer said, "I thought today, as far as just accuracy, there was maybe 2 balls. One was a really short pass that you really want to see completed, and then one that was an opportunity for an explosive play that was missed. Otherwise, I just probably guess that they were somewhere in the, where you want to be overall." However, Deboer seemed pleased with his QBs, noting that Austin Mack, Ty Simpson, and Keelon Russell all appeared more comfortable within the offense, suggesting the quarterback room is starting to find its rhythm, which is super important, but nothing he observed caused him to rethink their current standing. Alright, now moving on, let's talk about some of the other areas of the team, specifically the wide receiver unit, that will do the playmaking for whoever is under center. Isaiah Horton was originally a highly touted 4-star wide receiver back in the class of 2022, who Alabama was hoping to land in that cycle. His recruiting battle came down to mostly the Crimson Tide, Tennessee, Florida, and Miami, but he inevitably landed with the Hurricanes. Horton climbed his way up the depth chart and put together an impressive 2024 season, racking up over 600 yards and 5 touchdowns as Miami's 3rd receiver in a passing attack that spread significant targets around to 5 different players. Horton transferred to Alabama this offseason and looks ready to put together the most impressive season of his career. He's already finding ways to get open downfield and dominate in the red zone, scoring multiple touchdowns across practices and the scrimmage this past week. Thanks to Horton, Alabama should have one of the deepest wide receiver rooms in the country now. The Tide already returned Ryan Williams, who is now 18 years old, and the vet in Jeremy Bernard. 2 shifty wide receivers who can create create separation. At 6'10", 210 pounds, Horton will provide some much needed size and physicality on the perimeter that the offense lacked last season. If he continues destroying the defense this offseason, Alabama fans should expect him to see plenty of production this fall, perhaps operating as the team's second leading receiver if all goes well. Moving on, now let's talk about Justin Hill, a freshman linebacker. Justin Hill joined Kalen Deboer's star-studded Alabama 2025 recruiting class, listed as a consensus top 100 player and edge defender according to the recruiting services, but he is much more than that. At 6'3", 240 plus pounds, he looks ready to plug and play in the Wolf position for Kane Wommack's defense early on. For anyone unfamiliar, that's a hybrid edge rusher and outside linebacker role who can drop into coverage when called upon. It takes a versatile athlete to run it, and Hill is exactly that. Hill has already been flashing in practices and spring, intercepting balls, forcing pressures, and playing smart. And he isn't just starring on the field, he was also featured as a key student athlete of the week this past week as well. If he continues to thrive off the ball, Hill could end up playing a variety of roles this season for Bama, and his early ascension, his size, athleticism, and versatility could really help him succeed in both pass rush situations and off the ball, and it's quite reminiscent of the early Jahad Campbell days. Obviously, there is just a ton going on with Alabama football right now, and obviously so much more info is going to come out over the next month or so, and as time goes on, we will have a much clearer vision of what is going on. But for now, I just love to speculate and talk about what we do know. Week 1 against the Seminoles is going to be here before we know it, and what a way that is going to be to kick off the season. Obviously, Bama should win by 6 touchdowns, but it is week 1. Florida State is going to be looking to get back on track and make a complete turnaround, so that is going to be a game where the Tide needs to step on their throats early and take the crowd out of it. And then really, after that game, there is not a big matchup until week 4 against Georgia, and that is going to be a big test. We all know 2025 is going to be a fight in the SEC, and the team that can get through the most adversity is the team that is going to come out on top. Let me know in the comments below if there was anything I did not talk about that you would have liked to see covered, and give me some ideas for what to talk about next as spring is officially on the horizon. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And until next time, I will see you all later.
Got really good scrimmage in today. 15 with the threes. I'm gonna work backwards, right? And 50 with ones and twos. So got 115 plays in all together. Hit the numbers we wanted as far as the goal there. It was really good back and forth. Specialists got some times that they got in the opportunities to get their kicks in. Thought both of them, especially Talty getting in there in some field goal opportunities. He made all his kicks, PATs. So did a nice job there, which is an important part of the game. Something you kind of talk about offense and defense a lot. You forget about that part, and it's critical, especially in the big moments. So just a lot of give and take. Some guys up front did a nice job getting in the backfield at times. I thought we were consistent in the run game offensively. Held out a few guys beyond the injuries that have been from the beginning.